Hey guys, so welcome to my channel, Davina David. It's Davina here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys, or I'm going to be showing you all what I'll be making for Thanksgiving this year. So if you guys don't know already, I am newly vegan, and this will be my first vegan Thanksgiving. I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to be making. It's not many vegans in my family at this point, so I have to make my food, okay? I'm very used to people cooking for me. So the things that are on my menu are some vegan mac and cheese, and it's going to be inspired by Tabitha Brown. Actually, I'm going to be following her recipe. I'm going to be making potato salad because that is one of my faves. I'm going to be making some cabbage. I'm probably going to make fried cabbage. That's one of my favorites as well. I actually really love collard greens and just greens in general, but I'm like, that's going to be a little too tedious, so I'll just do cabbage. I'm going to be trying some fried oyster mushrooms. I have been wanting to try this recipe for a while now because I have already done other mushrooms, but where I am located, it's pretty hard to find oyster mushrooms in supermarkets, even Whole Foods. Whole Foods didn't have them. I'm so excited to try fried oyster mushrooms because it's supposed to taste really much like fried chicken or chicken thigh. So I'm excited about that. I'm also going to be making veggie meatballs with gravy. It's going to be a mushroom gravy, and I'm going to be making rolls instead of cornbread. I was considering making cornbread, but I just decided to just make rolls instead. I'm going to be making some sweet potatoes or candied yams. Candied sweet potatoes, because we really know that they're not yams, they're really sweet potatoes. And last but not least, I'm going to be making banana pudding. And the banana pudding is going to be a recipe by, or it's going to actually be inspired by Ghetto Vegans. I do have one thing I want to add to the recipe, so I am so excited. So let's get started. Okay guys, so the first things that I'm going to make are potato salad and banana pudding. I'm also going to get started on the macaroni as well, so I'm going to just boil the macaroni and set it aside and do the macaroni later. The things that I'm going to do last are the fried oyster mushrooms and the rolls, because that needs to stay the freshest in my opinion. You don't want the oyster mushrooms to, like, the breading to get soggy. You want it to stay crispy or crisp, and you want the rolls to stay really fresh and not get hard. So I'm going to make those last. So right now I'm doing the potatoes or the potato salad. So I have the water boiling right now. I'm going to let the potatoes boil for 15 to 20 minutes. That's the recommendations for the recipe that I'm doing. I'm using Chef Joya's recipe, and everybody that you'll see me talk about of the recipes that I'm following are here on YouTube. My grandmother makes really good potato salad too, but it's not vegan, so I'm going to be using her recipe. The only thing that you'll see once I get into it, but I'm doing it a little bit differently. When the water in the other pot starts to boil, I'll put in the macaroni, and then after that I'll get started on the banana pudding. And I'm just gonna use about 5 potatoes. They're all different sizes. This is the biggest one I have, but I have, most of them are about this size. Oh yeah, and I put salt inside of the water, okay, because the potatoes are going to soak up the flavor of the salt. So you want to make sure you season the water beforehand. I don't know if you want to use anything other than salt, but she recommended salt. So, and I normally do salt water anyway when it comes to boiling to something that is boiled. When I have to use boiled water, I normally add salt to it anyway. All right, you guys, so I cooked the potatoes and let them cool down and peeled them, and I chopped them up. This is what they're looking like. Okay, not exactly a full pan of potatoes, but this is what I have, and I'm going to start the mixture. Okay, so for my mixture, I'm going to be adding some chopped yellow onions. Yeah, I think this is yellow onions. And I'm also going to be using some sweet pickle relish and vegan mayo. The vegan mayo that I'm using, I already prepped it. Okay, the vegan mayo that I'm using is Hellman's. That's the one I have tried so far and I like it. Tastes really good to me, so I don't feel like I have to search any longer. But yeah, and I'm also going to use like a dollop of, or a little bit of yellow mustard. So let me add the onions. I'm probably just going to add them all at the same time because I added the amount that I think is good. I'm just going to add a little mayo at a time. And definitely going to go ham on the relish. The only thing that I'm not adding that she added to her recipe are the what is it? The celery and the peppers, the green peppers. My grandmother normally adds celery, but I don't think that she uses green peppers, and she loves green peppers, but I don't think that she uses green peppers for her potato salad. So I decided to omit both because I don't care for celery too much. I do like it in potato salad, but it's not a necessity. So I decided to skip it. And the potatoes are all cooled down too. So I'm just going to, I don't know if you guys can really see this, but I'm just going to work that in and just hope for the best. Okay, this is what it's looking like. It's not all the way stirred in. I could have used a little bit less of the relish juice. It's looking a little juicy, but okay, let's try it out. So mix that all in. I'm going to add a little bit of, seasoning to it. And then I'll show you guys how it's looking. And keep in mind, guys, that this is not a tutorial, any of this. I'm just showing you guys behind the scenes of what I'm doing. And if you want a full in-depth how to do these, I'll leave everybody's video so that everybody's recipe video of their recipes, so you can check it out after you finish watching this whole entire video. Okay, you guys, so the potato salad is finished. This is what it's looking like. Okay, and once everything is done, I'll show you guys how it looks. I'll show you guys all of the pans, but I just sprinkled some smoked paprika. I love smoked paprika. I do like it better than original paprika, so I'm going to foil this up and refrigerate it until all of the food is ready. Okay, so next is the Ghetto Vegans banana pudding. So I already added in the first batch of ingredients for the banana pudding mixture, which is the plant-based milk. I use almond milk like they did, a cup of sugar, a tablespoon of cornstarch, and just going to whisk it until the mixture until it's well mixed, and have the heat on as well. So I don't have a whisk or a blender on hand, so I'm just going to use a fork to just whisk it in. Make it like a whisk. Just get it in as good as possible. Then after this, I'm going to do the bananas, chop it up, and I have to do the other mixture. Then the bananas, I'll show you guys. I'm just going to whisk continuously. So next in the mixing bowl, we're going to be adding in some plant-based cream cheese. So I'm using Philadelphia brand, and this is the original, okay? You don't want any flavor in it unless you want to create something. Maybe you might want to make some strawberry banana pudding. That would be cool, so you could get strawberry flavored cream cheese. But I'm just using original, okay? Because I'm just going to stick to original banana pudding with a little twist. Okay, so we're going to use 2 of these. Okay, I should have took this out. That one scooped out so well. Okay, and we're going to add in the pudding mixture. Okay, it's still kind of warm, so it should help me melt down some of this solid, this cream cheese. It's really solid right now. Okay, so I'm going to just SOLID, really solid. So I'm going to pour this over it. Okay. And like I said, I don't have a mixer on hand, so I'm just going to whisk it with a fork as best as I can. And I'm going to add in the spices, the nutmeg and cinnamon and vanilla. So they used about 1/4 of a tablespoon, they said. Let's see. Yeah, because it can't be a teaspoon. Teaspoon is not enough. So, I mean, 1/4 of a teaspoon isn't enough. So, I think I'm just going to do 1/2 teaspoon or 1 teaspoon. I'm going to start with 1/2 teaspoon. And I could always work my way up. So, nutmeg, vanilla, and cinnamon. Okay, so I have that banana pudding, the whole entire banana pudding mixture done. And I tasted a little of it, and it's really, really good. So now I'm going to start putting the banana pudding together, and then I'm going to do the whipped cream last, and that's it. And then once everything's done, I'll show you guys the finished product. But I chopped up the bananas already, so I'm going to be using some Lorna Doone cookies. Okay, the big box. I don't know how many I'll be using. So I'll let you know how much I use at the end, but this is 1 box. 1 box equals 40 cookies, so we'll see. I'm gonna put the cookies down first. I think it's cookies, pudding, bananas, and so on. And I'm going to show you guys my secret ingredient that I'm going to be adding to it. This has been such a long day. Okay, this is my first time cooking for Thanksgiving. I'll cook like 1 or 2 dishes and help out, but this is a lot. So now I see how my mother and grandmother, other family members feel, but I'm loving it though. It's so fun. I actually love cooking now, so it's just so tedious. So let's go lay these cookies down. I think I'm gonna need 2 boxes. So I'm gonna have to hope for the best with this. This might not even be enough. I think I'm just gonna do 5 per row instead of 6. Okay, so I have my first layer down. Okay, next are bananas. Okay, I'm just going to pour it on in there. Okay, so let me add in the chocolate chips. So I could have used 2 boxes to give me more layers, but so I'm just going to improvise. But I'm going to add in my semi-sweet chocolate chips. Okay, these are vegan. It contains no milk or dairy. If you look at the ingredients, it's vegan. Okay, so I'm going to add some of these to the middle. There's some more pudding in the center. I'm sorry. This part doesn't contain bananas. This whole entire thing is banana pudding. Okay. So stuff that. Okay guys, so I'm done with the banana pudding, and like I mentioned at the beginning, I'll show you guys how everything looks final. The final look of everything. Okay, so now I'm gonna finish doing the Tabitha Brown's, doing the Tabitha mac and cheese. So now I'm going to I already boiled the macaroni ahead of time and cooked the butternut squash and the potato together with the seasoning. So now I'm just going to use some plant butter, and I'm using Country Crock. So far this is my favorite plant butter. This is the one with avocado oil. I go between this and the olive oil. I use olive oil the most, but I just decided to do avocado oil this time, okay? And I'm going to just use one stick. That's what she used in the video. Sorry if I have food on my hands. So we're going to put the butter, the whole stick, the whole entire stick inside of the pot. Okay, I have food in my hands, and I know my hands, they're not going to be looking the best. Okay, it's cooking, and I'm constantly washing my hands and washing dishes. So I'm going to put the whole stick in there. Turn the heat on. Probably put it on medium heat. Okay. And then once it melts down, I'm going to add in the squash, the butternut squash, and the potato, and do everything else she said in the video. Okay, you guys, so here's the mac and cheese. Next time I probably would use half of a box of macaroni, or close to that, for the amount of sauce that I make, because I prefer it really creamy. Like I could really taste all the juices. It was so good. I didn't even need to add the sauce. The sauce was so good. I didn't even really need to add the vegetable broth and the nutritional yeast when I first tasted it. But when I added the macaroni to it, I was like, okay, yeah, it does need that vegetable broth to add in that to make it more moist. But it is really good. Just next time I would just make a little bit more cheese sauce, or have less macaroni, so that I could get all of that sauce, because this sauce is so good. This is, when people say that this is like the best macaroni, vegan macaroni and cheese, they're not lying. Like, that was the best vegan cheese sauce I have had to this date. So I can't wait to try it as a dish. I'm not going to bake it because I don't want it to dry out. I like it creamy like this. I normally do during like the holidays have baked macaroni before I went vegan, and I would have the like top really crusty, but I just want it really creamy. So I'm just going to leave it like this and warm it up in the oven before I eat it. I added some paprika on top. Okay, I'm going to put this away, and I'm about to get started on the cabbage. Okay, I just washed my hands, so I'm going to get ready to make the oyster mushrooms, the fried oyster mushrooms. I'm going to put the meatballs in the oven, and also I'm going to get started on the cabbage, and then after that it'll be the sweet potato yams. I'm going to put that in the oven this time, and the rolls. Okay, so I'll check back in. Okay, so here are the candied yams, or candied sweet potatoes. I have already pre-prepared this. I cut up the sweet potatoes already. So I just cut up sweet potatoes on the finer side. I added some vegan butter all around. I drizzled vanilla extracts all around, and I sprinkled some cinnamon and nutmeg too. So I'm going to put this in the oven. I'm debating if I should turn the heat down, but sweet potatoes are pretty thick, so I think I'm going to keep the temperature at where it is, at about 450. If I do turn it down, I might just turn it down to 400. So I'm going to put these in the oven covered. Okay, and I also have some cabbage on the stove right now too, and I just made that really traditional, just chopped up the cabbage, used some vegan butter, seasoning, and I also added vegetable broth. I didn't feel like that needed an explanation really. I didn't go by anybody's recipe online, I just did this myself. But this is what it's looking like so far. Hopefully you guys can see that. Okay, it needs to cook a little bit longer. So after this, I'll get started on the fried oyster mushrooms. Okay, so now I'm gonna get started on the oyster mushrooms. I just have one cluster. I just bought one pack of oyster mushrooms and it came with one cluster. And the tutorial that I saw, the woman that did the tutorial or the recipe, she cut hers in pieces from the stem. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to attempt to show you guys. I already have the oil on the stove and I'm using vegetable oil, okay? But I'm going to just cut it from the stem. I'm really running out of room, but oh sorry, you see the stem at the bottom. I'm going to cut it from there. I'm really running out of room, but I'm going to figure out something. Okay, so here is the stem right here. This is already clean. Hopefully I don't get burnt. Let me turn it off for a minute until I'm done with this. Alright, so I'm going to use the stem to cut it into pieces like I saw in the video. And then I'm just going to season it afterwards. I'm going to season it just like I would fried chicken. And what else? But I have to do a dredge. So dredge is just making a flour batch, the same way that you would do for fried chicken, but it'll be wet, it'll be moist, so it could stick, it can adhere. The woman in the video, she used an egg substitute. I think it was just egg, but I'm just going to use some vegan milk because I used that before for something else that I fried. So I'm going to do a dry mix, a dry flour batter or mix, okay, with seasoned flour and then a wet batter, seasoned flour with the vegan milk. So okay, here I'm going to do the dry mixture first and then do the wet, then the dry again. And I'll probably will season these separately too, aside from the seasoned flour. So hopefully you guys saw what I just did. It's no room over here, but this is the best place to record. So hopefully you saw that I sliced them by the stem. I have to carefully move this, so I'm going to stop recording and then I'll show you guys when I have it in the batch, or I'll show you guys something in a minute, okay? Okay, so here is my batter. So that's the that's the wet dredge, and that's the flour mixture. So I'm going to do dry, wet, dry. I decided not to season the mushrooms by itself. You know, I'm having a lot of different foods. Everything is already well seasoned, so I'm going to take it easy. And I cut it into 4 pieces. So here is 1 piece. Okay, one of the mushrooms. And I'm going to put it in the dry. Okay, I have a lot of cleaning up to do. Then shake it off, put it on in the wet, have a spoon. You don't have to, but I have a spoon to saturate it to make it easier. Set it aside. You can always add more of the wet mixture too if you run out. So okay, I'm gonna just make sure this is all covered up, and then I'll show you it once it's inside of the hot oil. Okay, so here is how it looks. I'm gonna put it in the oil. Okay, let's hope for the best. Okay, I was hoping that wouldn't be too hot. Okay, one more piece. gonna try to zoom in for you guys. Okay, so that is how it's looking. It's looking really good. I'm so hopeful for this. Everything is so good. So it's just like I'm in paradise right now. Excuse the mess. I know the stove is a little messy, but yeah. Can't wait to eat this. Now I just have to make the mushroom gravy for the meatballs. I cooked them already. And then the sweet potatoes should be done in a minute, and then I'm done. I'm not gonna make the rolls. It's just too much, and I ran out of cans anyway, so I'll just save it or let someone else have some, and then I can eat. Okay, so see you guys soon. Okay, for the gravy, I have the mushroom broth in the oven with the onions. I was gonna put it on the stove, but I had other things up there. I'm like, it's getting so late. I have to cook this, so I'm just gonna let it get really hot, like boil while it's in the ovens on 450. I could put it on broil, but I still have these sweet potatoes and I had it covered, but I wanted to caramelize a little bit, so I took off the foil. Gonna let it cook for about 10 minutes until it browns up a little bit, and then once the broth starts to like sizzle, simmer, boil a little bit, whatever, like gets a little bubbly, I'll take it out and add in the flour to make the gravy. I have some steamed cabbage. Look at that, it's so good. And everything is vegan, okay? Vegan butter was used. I didn't put a whole bunch of ingredients in my cabbage. I can have it with like carrots and all those things, but I don't care for it too much, so I just made mine how I like mine. Really good. We have some vegan mac and cheese, and this isn't baked, so I know you might be like, oh, is that baked? It's not baked. It's not baked, and I normally have a baked mac and cheese for the holidays, but it's my first time making vegan mac and cheese, and I love the way the sauce tastes by itself without it being crisp at the top, so I decided not to bake it. I just left it as is and put it in the pan. It's pretty good. Oh, before I even show y'all that. Okay, y'all, so this is the money maker, and like I said, I had some of the food last night because I was up all night cooking and I was hungry, so I did eat some of everything already besides my banana pudding. But this is the money maker right here. This vegan potato salad is so good. I'm so proud of myself for this. It's really good. Okay, Nana, watch out. Okay, I'm coming for you. It's so good. All right, fried oyster mushrooms. Okay, I heard that fried oyster mushrooms taste like chicken. They're really good. I ate some already, so some things it might not be like filled up on the plate or the pan, because I cook mainly for me. I do have a few dishes that I'm going to share with other people, but then I had a few personal things that I wanted for myself. So this is actually 3 pieces. It's really good. It tastes like chicken, and it also tastes like fried pork chops. So if you ever miss fried pork chops, if you were someone that ate pork on occasion, or you were a pork lover, give these a try. And then I have my vegan banana pudding. I cannot wait to taste this, and I did a little spin. Okay, it's gonna have some vegan chocolate chips in it. Okay, so vegan semi-sweet chocolate chips are in the middle. Okay, it's gonna be so good. Everything is vegan from this banana pudding. It's all of it is vegan and homemade. Okay, I made the whipped cream from scratch. The pudding itself is from scratch. We have the bananas in there. We have the cookies. Okay, the only thing that's not from scratch that I made are the cookies and the chocolate chips. Everything else I made from scratch, okay? It's going to be so good. I can't wait for that. And then I have some rolls too, but I didn't make them. Don't know if I'm going to make them. All right. So I know I'm not showing everything, but that is my vegan Thanksgiving, okay? So watch out, y'all. Okay, guys, so I'm finally eating the food. I know I didn't get to show you guys that the other day, so here we go. The only thing I would do differently is to not cook the meatballs as long. I try to make them crisp, because that's how I like my regular meatballs, how I used to. But I gotta keep in mind that's not real meat, so it may be a little bit of extra seasoning. It's already seasoned, but different, maybe a few different seasonings, but it's pretty good. Mac and cheese, really good. Maybe just a tad bit more salt. And I'll like to try it with the cheese on top next time. I'm gonna do that. Make it just traditional, the traditional way I normally make baked mac and cheese. The cabbage is really good. Just how I like it. Yams are really good too. The only thing I forgot to show you guys in the video is me adding the sugar. I forgot to add the sugar actually. I had to go back and add sugar. So I used like half a cup. Maybe even less. It really didn't need that much sugar. It is so good. What did you guys do for Thanksgiving? And what do you plan on making for Christmas? Okay, this video should be up before Christmas, so you can make these ingredients. You guys can make any of these recipes for Christmas, okay? This video should be up before Christmas. So let me know how you guys like these recipes. If you want me to try anything else. Do you want me to share any other recipes? Do you want me to try anybody else's recipes? So let me know in the comments, and I'll see you later.